Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice of radio. So today, it is time to do another one of those videos where we look at a particular card and go, hang on a second, shouldn't that be seeing more play? Isn't that a really useful card in today's metagame? And right now, it's over to Mewtwo GX. Fun fact, and I'm sorry if this sounds like name dropping, please don't hate me, but when I interviewed Mitsuhiro Arita at the Dallas Regional Championships in January, I asked him about his favourite artwork he's ever done for a Pokemon card, bearing in mind he has illustrated over 500 Pokemon cards, and he said that his favourite artwork of all the ones he's drawn was the secret rare Mewtwo GX from Shining Legends. A card that's not seen a huge amount of play, but it's a psychic type, which means it fits very well with Malamar, which is gaining a lot of traction at the moment. And it's a basic, and basics are much more easy to tech into particular decks. So there's certainly some potential here. If nothing else, there is a little bit of potential here. So I suppose we should probably remind ourselves what the card actually does. So the first attack does 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to this Pokemon. And it does not specify basic energy, ergo if you were to add a double colourless energy onto Mewtwo here, it would count as double and allow you to do an extra 60 damage, not unlike Mega Mewtwo's Infinite Force. That attack just annoyed me. Let's not talk about that anymore, it's only going to upset Wassy. This is a kind of attack where you just pile energy on and do a huge amount of damage. The thing is, you've got to pile a bit too much energy on here. I mean, if you want to hit for 180 and KO a Drampa, for instance, that's 6 energy. I mean, it's kind of like Gardevoir's attack, except it doesn't count energy on your opponent's Pokemon, so you really do have to pile on here in order to get a KO. No, that sounds a little bit awkward to me. However, if you're hitting for weakness, all of a sudden things change quite dramatically. Because what happens is that if you get free energy on there, all of a sudden you're hitting for 180. And hitting for 180 seems like a fairly decent number, given of course that we've got stuff like Buzzwole. Now Buzzwole's got 190, but oh look. In the meantime, before we rotate, how about you use Fighting Fury Belt? You get an extra 40 HP, putting yourself up to a, to be honest, fairly nice 230, because this has got 190 like Buzzwole does. And then you get a one-hit KO on Buzzwole using this. Or how about something like Necrozma GX? People are using this a lot lately with Malamar, and Necrozma GX will go down to a free energy Mewtwo here. And if you're playing a Malamar deck, a free energy Mewtwo is not a difficult thing to realise. You attach your energy for the turn, you use 2 Malamar, oh look, you've got a free energy Mewtwo, you're off and rolling. This first attack is not particularly good if you're not hitting for weakness, it just becomes super awkward and expensive. But if you are hitting for weakness, all of a sudden it starts to look kind of affordable, and it starts to look like a really quite good attack. And I become quite a big fan of it. Now, maybe you don't want to use the first attack, maybe you want some bigger attacks. Well, just while we're here, right, the second attack, Psychic Colourless, 60 damage, heal 30, no. 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 Maybe in Expanded with a Choice Band and a Dimension Valley, you would then be able to hit 180, but I still wouldn't get a KO on Buzzwole, and then you wouldn't be able to play the Fighting Fury Belt because you've already got a tool on there. No, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking another look at Mewtwo, but this middle attack still sucks. And then we get to the GX attack. Free Psychic Energy, 200 damage. Not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So, and I've used this example a bunch lately, but to be honest, it is the most relevant one like this. Dawnwing's Necrozma does 180 with its GX attack, and then gets immunity the following turn. Bit annoying. Well, Mewtwo comes in and does 200 and goes through effects, so if you come across a Dawnwing's Necrozma, that's fine. You can just get a one-hit KO with Mewtwo anyway, just ignoring that effect. That's what's so gosh darn good about this. And you're hitting numbers. Now, don't worry about KOing something like a Buzzwole because your first attack will do that quite nicely. But how about something like a Zoroark or a Duskmane Necrozma? Now, at this point, probably worth stopping for a second and pointing out pretty much every Metal Pokemon and pretty much every Darkness Pokemon will resist Psychic, which actually makes it super annoying. But with a Choice Band here, you should still be getting a lot of very relevant KOs. Something like a Zoroark GX with Resistance, you're still hitting the 230, reduced with Resistance goes down to 210, and you're fine. With a Fighting Fury bout, you'll hit 210, reduced to 190 with Resistance, and Duskmane Necrozma will be going down anyway. You're hitting a lot of relevant numbers, and if you're not being resisted, 230 will get a KO on something like a Gardevoir GX or a Greninja GX, and you'll be up and rolling and sitting pretty. It's a good GX attack. The thing we need to remind ourselves, however, is that Psychic actually has a couple of really good options for GX attacks. You've got the aforementioned Dawnwings Necrozma. It does 180, should get a one-hit KO on most stuff, and you cannot be damaged the following turn. But then again, you can only use it if you are behind on prizes. And there's going to be games where you jump ahead on prizes, and you're never behind, and in those games, you can't use that GX attack. Well, if you're rushing ahead on prizes and having a good start, you know what would be super useful? A big attack that does 200 damage and KOs one of your opponent's Pokemon and gives you an even better start. Oh, look! It's Mewtwo. Mewtwo, ladies and gentlemen, has yo back. It's a good GX attack for those games where you're rushing out ahead. But then again, you've got Necrozma GX's GX attack, which is a great GX attack. 3 colorless energy, 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, GX and EX. The thing about this GX attack is, well, if you're playing Necrozma with Malamar, you're wanting to get one-hit KOs with Prismatic Burst. Attach and discard 3 energy, and you're doing 190. That's pretty good. Or even 2 energy, or even 1 energy in a Choice Band, and you're getting a one-hit KO on a Buzzwole. Although, to be fair, you've still got to have 3 energy on there, so it's not quite as fun as it sounds, unfortunately. But you should be getting one-hit KOs. The other option here is Ultra Necrozma, which is also played with Malamar, where you should also be getting one-hit KOs. So as much fun as it is to do 100 damage to all EXs and GXs, this is a kind of deck, Necrozma decks, whereby you should be getting one-hit KOs anyway. So does it really matter if you use this GX attack? And all of a sudden, as much as we've got better options, Mewtwo starts rolling around here and going, hey, but maybe you want to get one-hit KOs. In which case, I'm available. Or maybe you're not behind on prizes, in which case, hey, I'm available. I'm not saying you're going to be desperate to use this GX attack every game, but I am saying it gives you a truly viable alternate option, which is, in certain circumstances at least, better than the alternatives. Now, the one thing we do need to mention before we end here, Buzzwole is everywhere. And on the one hand, that means that you can use Mewtwo to be a really nice counter to Buzzwole. On the other hand, it means it's got the same issues as Buzzwole. That is, people are playing Mew from Fates Collide, Mew EX, and Mewtwo from Evolutions as counters for Buzzwole. And you've got the same amount of HP and the same weakness as Buzzwole, so people are going to be countering you as well, which is a slight issue. I don't think Mewtwo's going to come around as this great deck in and of itself. But I do think that if you're playing a deck like Malamar, it could absolutely be a nice tech to chuck in there. It counters Buzzwole, which is everywhere. It counters Necrozma, which is getting better and better. And that GX attack, with a Choice Band at least, KOs pretty much everything relevant, and with a Fighting Fury bout, gets most relevant things. Then you add in the fact that a lot of the other options you've got in terms of GX attacks, frankly, aren't great. And you're left with a Pokemon that we really do need to look at a little bit closer now. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you think I'm right about this? Do you think Mewtwo should see a bit more play? Or do you think I'm on one again and it's just not that good? Go nuts, but be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.